Hey guys, this is Ghost Wish, as you know. This is a story that is a Scooby-Doo and Transformers G1 crossover. Now, I have loved Transformers since I saw the very first live-action movie by Michael Bay. And my dad told me all about it before, and I had actually watched a few episodes of the first generation. Well, anyway, and I kind of grew up with Scooby Doo, so having the two together seems hilarious. Just the thought of it is crazy. Um, the person actually made a surprising find. The person who does Megatron's G1 voice also did is the exact same person who did Fred's voice for the old Scooby Doo cartoon. Sorry if I'm messing up on my words. I didn't practice this at all. This is just going with the flow kind of thing. Um, Now I'm not going to do any voice impressions. I've never been able to do that before. I mean, I can make my voice sound different from time to time, but that's about it. So, anyways, I'm going to read to you this. I don't know how many parts it's going to take, but we're going to give it a shot. All right? So, here we go. A crimson and orange sky provided a fiery backdrop for the power plant, creating looming, foreboding silhouettes out of the cooling towers and containment buildings. Steam bleaching forth from the cooling towers was tinted a brilliant orange by the ruddy light of sunset. Like the breath of a dragon, the surrounding cliff and sagebrush landscape seemed to glow with the final fire of dusk. The single ribbon of road, a strip of black against the desert. Even the chain-link fence surrounding the plant, topped with razor wire, gleamed as if set afire in the last light of the day. It seemed as if the elements had conspired to give a sense of doomsday to the land, as if to warn away any who dared approach. None of this seemed to deter the Mystery Machine, whose occupants had approached more frightening locations than this and come away relatively unscathed. The teal and lime van passed through the security gate and came to a stop before a uniformed man who stood before the facility's security office. The man frowned as the occupants of the vehicle got out. "Sorry, no pets allowed on the premises," he ordered. "It's all right, sir," Daphne assured him, patting the dog's head. "Scooby knows how to behave himself. Besides, he's part of the team." "Rah!" Scooby defended, giving the man a glare as if daring him to argue. He sighed. "Fine, then." He extended his hand. "Jim Patch, head of security. Glad you could come." "Pleasure's all ours," Fred replied, shaking his hand. "What seems to be the problem?" "What other problem are you guys typically called for?" he asked, motioning for them to come into his office. Shaggy glanced about nervously as he stepped out of the Mystery Machine. This place gives me the creeps already, Scoobs," he whimpered. "And not just because we could mutate at any moment." "You're perfectly safe," Mr. Patch assured. "There's never been an accident at this plant that would result in anyone being exposed to radiation." Once everyone was inside, he shut the door and turned to his guests with a relieved sigh. "Thanks again for coming, Mr. Ink. I don't want to risk my job by making outrageous claims to my superiors, but I'm truly at my wit's end here." "You're afraid they'll think you're crazy if you claim the power plant's haunted, aren't you?" asked Velma. He nodded. "My superiors don't place much stock in the supernatural." He picked up a folder from his desk and handed it to Fred. "Over the past few months, we've had plant workers and security guards reporting several occurrences of mysterious phenomena. You'll find documentations of each case here. We've always had multiple witnesses, so hallucination isn't an explanation." "What sort of phenomenon?" asked Fred, handing Velma the folder. "At first it was just strange noises," he replied. "Voices, knocking, howling, clinking. Never with any visible cause, either. Later there were reports from night security of glowing red eyes around the base. In addition to the noises, Johnson and Swan both swore they saw a giant cat of some kind at one point, but we never found tracks. Giant rat? Scooby bared his teeth and snarled. Scooby, chided Daphne, calm down. Is that all, Mr. Patch? Asked Fred. No, it's not. It's not all. If things had stopped there, we might have written it off as a prank. He gave a shudder and glanced about as if afraid of being overheard. 2 weeks ago, the ghost jets came. Ghost jets? Replied Velma, looking up from browsing the reports. Ghost jets, he repeated. Silvery white, and when they come at night, they seem to glow in the dark. They make several passes over the plant, then take off again. Have you seen these ghost jets for yourself? Asked Fred. Once, he replied with another shiver, and once was enough. Thank you very much. He sighed and looked down at his hands. The plant's managers contacted the military, but they deny any involvement in this. He refuses to do anything else, seeing as the jets aren't exactly harming anything. So the employees have turned to me for help, and that's where you come into the story. Fred put a hand to his chin and considered. Is there ever anything missing after these occurrences? People abducted or stolen belongings? No. Then he seemed to remember something. Wait, I know this will sound crazy, but there's been a dip in energy output at the plant every time the ghost jets have made an appearance. Huh. Fred thought some more. That's strange. Usually when we investigate hauntings, it turns out to be a criminal scheme. Let's hope that's not the case, Daphne said nervously. What would criminals want from a nuclear power plant? Uranium for bombs? That's a scary thought. Like I'd rather it be criminals than ghosts, Shaggy stuttered. Aha! Exclaimed Velma, pulling a glossy square from the file. Someone got a photo of the jets. It's not the best quality, Mr. Patch explained, but it's all we've got. Most of the time, people are too panicked when they appear to do anything but run, let alone pause to take a picture. Velma pulled a magnifying glass from her pocket and examined the photo. The one in the foreground looks like an F-15 Eagle. The two in the back, that one looks like an Eagle too, but the other might be a Tomcat. It's too blurry to tell. She held the picture closer to her face. There's something not right here. Jinkies! What is it, Velma? Asked Fred. Look at this, she replied, handing the picture and glass to Fred. There's no one in the cockpit. Fred studied the picture. You're right, but there's got to be some kind of rational explanation. Maybe it's an automatic pilot? No automatic pilots that good, Velma countered. And even if the military was testing an AI piloting system, do you think they'd be painting the jets glow-in-the-dark white or testing them over a nuclear power plant? Well, maybe you just can't see the pilot from this angle, Fred countered, tilting the picture and squinting. Or maybe they really are ghosts, Shaggy squeaked. Oh, calm down, Fred told him with a laugh. In all the cases we've solved, have you ever come across a real ghost or monster? Bresh, Scooby protested, shaking from nose to tail. Romby Ryland. Mr. Pack stared at the Great Dane. Did that dog just say Zombie Island? We promised we'd never talk about that, didn't we? Daphne reminded Scooby with a scowl. Well, let's get to the bottom of this, Mr. Patch. We'll get to the bottom of this, Mr. Patch, Fred promised Fred. Thank you, sighed Mr. Patch. But don't worry, but do try to keep a low profile, alright? Security won't bother you, but if anyone else finds out you're here, I could lose my job. Well, guys, I have to cut it there right now, and I will howl at you guys later. Bye-bye!